Did many boys comment on your eyes?
Huh?
What's up, chat? Look at the decor. It's inspirational, you know what I'm talking about? But today, we finna watch the game show host that kisses kids. I know a lot of game show hosts that kisses kids, so this is not anything new, but yeah, let's see what they talking about.
Act of 1976. The intention of this video is to report and criticize the 1980s game show Just Like Mom, which was broadcasted publicly and then rerun 30 years later. This video covers content that may be perceived as shocking and insensitive, but it is necessary to discuss for educational and documentary purposes.
Right? You look like a young lady who likes to give lots of hugs and kisses out, do you? You're both very pretty. And you have green eyes. Blue. Are they? They're not blue. Now don't tell me that. Look at me a little closer.
Excuse me?
I mean, hey, but that's the thing. A lot of that stuff, that was acceptable back then. That's a form of, I guess, love, but not that type of sexual love. You know what I'm talking about? That was like, you know how you kiss, like, mwah, mwah, like that type of stuff? That was probably acceptable back then, but now we looking at it and we like, nah, like, this ain't it.
It's green. Boy, are they ever pretty. Wow. Did many boys comment on your eyes?
Huh?
Hugs and kisses. I should have known a sweet-looking gal like you would pick that one. You give out kisses, though, don't you, Stephanie? No. You don't, too?
All right, what, you like hugging and kissing?
No kisses? Can I have a little kiss, please? Oh.
You got any boyfriend?
Bro, this show is basically about a predator, bro. Let's get to the point.
That horrifying footage was from the 1980s Canadian game show Just Like Mom. The man hosting the show was named Fergie Olver. You are probably feeling shocked, confused, and appalled at the visible proof of pedophilia broadcasted on live TV. How were they able to do this? Why didn't anyone stop this? Did the host go to jail? Today,
like, yeah, a lot of stuff wasn't. Times were different.
Dive into the dark past of the worst game show ever made. Scarborough, Ontario, a suburb of Toronto, Canada, was where CFTO TV Studios was located. The year is 1979. Paul Burford came up with a new idea for a game show that would shock the world. Literally. He pitches the idea to his friend Stephen Young, who would be the host of season 1. He loves it. In the 80s, kids' game shows were not very popular in America, but Canada seemed to have a vested interest in this genre. The idea was almost exactly like the Newlywed Game, but with kids and their mothers. 3 teams, each consisting of a child and their mother. The children are asked 2 questions while the moms are backstage. They give an answer, then the mom comes on the stage and is asked the same question. Each team gets points when their answers match. Then they have a bake-off, where the kids are given some ingredients to bake something in 60 seconds. The mothers get a taste test of each one and have to guess which one their child baked. If they fleshed out this part of the game show, it would actually be a fun idea.
Comp. Maybe. Yeah, that's comp. Imagine your mama knowing exactly how you cook like. That's comp.
The kids more ingredients, more time to explain what ingredients they're using and why. For example, this one mother knew it was her daughter's creation because it had a lot of cherries in it.
You win the show! Congratulations! And why did you take number 3?
Because it had the most cherries in it.
It had the most cherries in.
Whoever has the most points at the end gets to spin the prize wheel full of cheap sponsored items with hopes of winning a trip to Disneyland. Season 1 was hosted by Stephen Young and Catherine Swing. Stephen was a lot less creepy than Fergie, but still had some questionable tendencies. Catherine was elected as Miss Canada in 1978. She was an actress and TV personality. In the beginning of each episode, the kids would run up to the host.
Excuse me?
Boy, if you don't get
As he demands a hug and kiss.
give me 5, Trevor. That a guy, baseball player, turn around, bow. Oh.
However, for the remainder of the show, at least the ones I could find on the internet, He seems to give the children a little bit more space, isn't always trying to touch them, and just focuses on the game. Steven left the show after season 1. Nobody knows why. Season 2 is when Canadians all over the country would be introduced to Fergie Ulver. Fergie was Catherine Swing's husband. They even had 2 children together. Ulver was from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. He played minor league baseball in the semi-pro Western Baseball League. From there, he would transition into broadcasting. Once he landed a job at CFTO, he spent the remainder of his broadcasting career with the Toronto Blue Jays, where he was loved and respected, famous for his catchphrase, "How about those Blue Jays?" Fergie's whole life revolved around baseball. That's where his expertise was.
So
sure, he did some commercials here and there, but his only other job was this random game show for children. When he took over for season 2 on Just Like Mom, things changed a lot. The children were no longer running up to the host in the beginning. Still, it was the host's job to greet the kids and make them feel comfortable. Despite his relaxed tone and higher-pitched voice, literally none of the kids, or their mothers, ever looked comfortable.
Where did you get that pretty blonde hair?
Heck, you don't have to be afraid of us.
The likely reason why the kids felt uncomfortable...
I'm not really afraid of the girl. It's probably because I'm a boy, but it's probably because I'm a boy. Well, I'm just afraid of the dude.
They were trapped.
I'm glad you let me share this chair with you. This is comfortable up here.
For the start of the game, the producers would take the mothers off the set, bring them backstage, and make sure they can't see or hear what's going on. That way they can't hear their child's answers and cheat to win the game. This was the perfect trap for Fergie and Catherine to take advantage of the children.
Hugs and kisses.
Catherine, I ain't gonna lie, Catherine not that bad. It's probably because I'm a dude, but like, I think it's just Fergie that's the problem. Let me see more about Catherine. Let me chill.
Well, a sweet-looking gal like you would pick that one.
Once the mothers were off stage, the hosts would get very close to the kids. Most of the time, Fergie would have his hand on the backs of these children, or in places we can't be sure of. The children most of the time are visibly uncomfortable.
They don't look nervous because what's there to be nervous about, right?
And I get it. It's
Never
TV.
mind.
There's
I'm
an
not feeling
audience.
her.
Their mothers aren't around.
I
But
mean,
if you
I was
look through
never
most
feeling
game
her, but,
shows
like,
involving children,
I
the
thought she
producers
was
want the
normal,
kids to
but
be as
just that one
comfortable as
line
possible
told
to
me
get the
she's
best
not
results.
Where would Aaron say you would wear a cummerbund?
On my waist.
On your waist.
That way they aren't just staring into space and being quiet. Plus the mothers didn't look at ease either. Aren't game shows supposed to be fun, full of energy, goofy, filled with laughs? The show constantly had dead air, no reactions from the audience, and a creepy vibe that you could feel through the screen. It's almost like these families knew what was going on, but realized it was too late. The funny part about the game was supposed to be how children are unpredictable and will come up with ridiculous answers to these questions, like this one.
What animal at the zoo reminds you of your mother?
A gorilla.
A gorilla!
However, as time went on, the questions got overly sexual and shockingly inappropriate.
Mama's decided she wants to be a Playboy bunny. What will Dad say?
They were obsessed with the idea of kissing and trying to get kids to talk about sexual things.
What would Mom have to do to get a great big sloppy kiss from you?
Oh nah, man.
All right, what, you like hugging and kissing?
Yeah.
With who?
Now I can remember being a child and adults
No,
say,
I'm playing.
"Oh, do you have
I'm
a
playing.
girlfriend?" And you kind of giggle and shrug it off. But to be trapped and forced to give an
Yeah,
answer,
both of them are
as
weird.
well
I
as
ain't
them
gonna
going
cap.
deeper,
You got any boyfriends?
Yeah, one.
One boyfriend? What do you do when you're alone together? What do you do too?
Just talk.
Yeah,
You
he's
just
pushing
talk?
it.
That's all? You
He
wouldn't
is
tell me anyway,
free.
would you?
No.
No.
like what was the goal of these questions? What did you want the kids to say?
Tara, speaking of kissing, when do you think, and this might become an X-rated show soon, when do you think your first kiss will be from a boyfriend? At what age we will accept 1 year either way?
Now we have to address this because there will be a ton of people that comment, it was a different time. Yes, it was a different time where less
Somebody
pedophiles
said-
were being exposed for their wrongdoings.
Yeah.
There are very few things on here that can be excused for societal norms being different. Sure, you mentioned how pretty or handsome one of the children are. You know what? That could be harmless. But Fergie just took it too far every time.
Are your eyes green? Boy, are they ever pretty. Wow. Did many boys comment on your eyes?
You know, that makes me mad because, like, why can't I have green eyes? You know what I'm talking about? Like, the people that got colored eyes in my school, they be like flexing their eyes, and I'm like, bro.
If If your game show relies on sexual questions for kids, then it probably isn't good. I mean, we know this because the questions that weren't sexual were so bad.
Okay. What do you think would be the best fertilizer Mom could use on her plants? A spray gun.
But absolutely no excuse can be made for kissing a stranger's child on the mouth, especially after they said no. At some point, things got really out of hand. A lot of people reference this clip where someone says, "dirty old man."
Well, I guess you can't win the show then. If I don't get a hug and a kiss. Yeah.
Indeed.
You hear that?
In response to his disgusting demands, the woman who said that was actually Catherine Swing, his wife and co-host. His own wife was calling him out on his horrific actions live on television. Even she had enough. She realized how much of a monster he was, yet it still continued. To no surprise, they got divorced shortly after the game show ended. The show ran from 1980 to 1985, 600 episodes.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, chat. There's some sick, there's some sick people out there, bro. I ain't gonna cap. Like, some real weirdos, bro. And you just gotta watch out for them, you know what I'm talking about? Your teacher could be weird. Your cousin could be one. Like, you really gotta watch out. You gotta, like, stay tuned in. Look at how they do it, when they do stuff. Like, yeah, when they choose to do stuff, how they act towards different people, all that stuff. Like, trust me, they gonna slip up one of these days and you gonna catch them.
That is 1,800 children featured on this series. A lot of people think very highly of it. In fact, a lot of the episodes posted on YouTube are from people who were featured on the show and remember it as a fun and positive experience. Almost all of them are males, which we can tell Fergie was not interested in. Fergie continued broadcasting with the Toronto Blue Jays until he retired in 1992. In 2004, he was nominated for the Ford Frick Award presented by the National Baseball Hall of Fame. All the way up until 2017, he worked with the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame and remained a well-respected man among his peers. The show never received any backlash until around 2010 when somebody posted Fergie's crime compilation on YouTube. Throughout the past decade, it's been reacted to by PewDiePie and other reactors and has gone viral on Reddit. SNL even made a pretty hilarious spoof of the show. However, no legal ramifications for Fergie.
Who is that?
Nobody
I seen him before.
Hilarious spoof of the show. However, no legal ramifications for Fergie. Nobody has spoken out. None of these kids have come forward to talk about it. There really isn't much information online about Fergie Ulver in general. The only thing I could find was actually someone defending his actions.
I was kitchen manager on Just Like Mom.
Somebody did a clever editing job on a YouTube video that has basically destroyed the man's reputation.
Yeah, it's awful. Evan Fergie was nothing like that. He was friendly. He was warm. He's loving. No, I mean, that is not what they made out of that. I was shocked. And believe me, I would have, reported it. I mean, I think when I was working there, I was like 20, or early 20s. I saw nothing like that. Nothing like that.
So basically this woman, who was 20 at the time, worked on the production crew, and this was her opinion. So
she's a little suspicious to me, or
clearly people who worked on the show did not think anything was wrong with this behavior. In fact, the show actually got syndicated on Game TV from 2008 to 2010, where they would rerun all these old episodes. And in 2016, they created a sequel called Just Like Mom and Dad, where Catherine Swing was brought on as a creative consultant. Luckily, the 2017 version was not predatory and seemed to be a much better game overall. Kissing on game shows seemed to be a trend in the 80s. Family Feud's original host Richard Dawson was very comfortable leaning in for kisses, even if the woman's husbands were right there. Most of these were consensual.
What is this? No, like, I might have to go to the 80s. Like, I can't get a kiss for none right now, but like, dang.
And at least the contestants were of age. In fact, some of these women were the ones making the advances. Steve Harvey was never into that. The only kiss he ever gave out was on a woman's hand. Not much defense can be made for Fergie. We all saw what happened. We can all agree that kissing a child on the mouth when they explicitly say no is predatory and illegal. As for now, nobody spoke out against this that was involved and probably never will. Plus, Fergie is a very, very old man now.
Oh, man.
You can't blame the victims for simply wanting to move on and forget. It's disgusting and mortifying.
Alright, chat. Let me know what y'all think. This is interesting. So apparently a lot of game shows like to kiss people like back in the 80s. That was the thing, kissing. I wish I was in the 80s. I ain't get no love. Like Anna Lee, no love. Alright. If y'all like the video, Like the video, subscribe if you like the video. That's my new thing now. All right, peace.